Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Again, this is the second part for 2009 Mercedes-Benz E320 Bluetec with the boost issues. I came with a conclusion on the first part of the video that we have a back pressure issue, which can be the DPF filter, it can be the catalytic converters, it can be a numerous of different things. I was leaning more on the catalytic converter because this DPF filter is very controlled by the computer with like differential pressure sensors on both sides of the system. So that's why the regeneration takes place. If it feels that it's too much of carbon, it will do a regeneration. So I took the catalytic converter out, and I found out that we have a blockage in there. So definitely, it's a lot of carbon buildup. Yeah, I'm still, leaning towards this issue, not the turbo, because the turbo vane control actuator is moving freely. I think the strategy from the computer to protect the engine and the turbo is to go into limp mode, so it doesn't hurt both both into the engine or the turbo because of a blockage on the catalytic converter or anything else. It's reading high back pressure, it turns the limp mode on. So let me show you what I'm doing now. So let me get a flashlight on myself so I can show you what I can. So this catalytic converter, you can take it apart, at least on this vehicle. It has two catalytic converters. This is the upper part that gets connected to the turbo, and then the second body where the two oxygen sensors gets attached. Before you take this apart, I was very concerned to mark the position, because after you remove it, you can put them into any position. Okay, so this is the way it looks. Right here we got a lot of carbon buildup. You can see that when I take it apart. And one thing that you can see, let me take the light off. Well, let me make sure you guys are seeing you can barely see anything in there. And just so you guys see that too, I got a flashlight, a very powerful flashlight in there. We got a lot of carbon deposits in here too. So either we put the light on this side, which I cannot hold it. Let me see if I can move this around the other way. We can see that we have no light going through. So this is a back pressure issue, at least this one, and this is the easiest way you can check that. Same thing will be the other one. So let me stop the video and put the other one in the bench and put the flashlight through. Alright, this is the other part of the catalytic converter, or this will be the second catalytic converter. So I'm using a different flashlight, a little stronger. Let me see if you guys can see anything in there. You can see there's some of these holes. You can see there, I got some that you can see, and some that are like completely blocked too. I am looking at the catalytic converter. So this one is the same thing with this light. A little bit of a bright situation here. Let me turn around this sort of for the shakiness and moving of the video. So let me see if I can see that too. It looks like the bottom of the catalytic converter. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit of a light in there. So some of the you can see right there, some are clean, some are just like right there is a little bit of a space, but then it goes like dark. So definitely this will create a back pressure issue. Alright, following up, since I had the catalytic converter removed, I want to see how that exhaust side of the turbo looks. I had the borescope connected to it. Let me show you that. So looking at the video, on the image in here, I don't see the scratches or nothing, which is very, very good. When you have a damaged turbo, you will see those fins, even missing fins or really bent, or a lot of scratches on that surface. So That's not the case in here. That is good news. So move that around a little bit. As you can see, the camera right there. That is a little closer. See? So the turbo hasn't hit that side, which means the bearings or bushings and everything is quite a bit good. So this is more and more for me as a bed catalytic converter. So let me stop this because this is about to die. So at least we see that the turbo side part looks good. Okay, so I take a decision to clean the catalytic converters as much as I could in hot water and some special chemicals for that. Let me show you what we have right now. Hopefully, let me see if the image shows the light. I have to turn the light on first. But as you can see now, I'm trying to put the light as best as I can. So hopefully that shows that, you know, most of the converter is now clean. And probably what we see there is, you know, the residues of what I used to clean. Let's see here. This one's a little harder. This light is very dim now. Let me get a better light. 1 second, guys. So now we can see that this catalytic converter is pretty much clean. That's a better approach. And let me see the other one, which I think this one was less clogged than the other one. You can see still, you know, again, residues. We can see right there that it was still, you know, this is not 100% clean, but I will say it's like 70% to 80% better. And most of that is going to go away as soon as I start the car. Right now with the chemicals and the hot water and everything, it's pretty much loose. So let me put it together, take the car for a test drive. We'll see if this makes any change. All right, guys, I already put the catalytic converter back in, you know, in the car, and I'm going to take it for a test drive, expecting to see a big change on the back pressure. I'm ready to ID the vehicle, and so we'll pick up this one, left wheel steering, yes, diagnosis. I might have said some codes. I started the car without the catalytic converter just to remove some of the carbon deposits on the turbo. Both oxygen sensors were disconnected, and we'll see. Let's see what kind of codes we have in here. I mean, no matter what we have, I'm going to raise it and start fresh and then take it for a test drive. And like my friend says, you know, this is the moment of truth. I wanted to see a big change. Okay, let's read the codes. And as you can see, you know, we have a whole bunch of different codes, catalytic converter and blah blah blah, because that was disconnected, so I knew that this was going to happen. So let's erase the codes. Yes. Okay. Now I need to turn the ignition off and turn it back on after 10 seconds. So alright, 10 seconds, and let's read everything back. Make sure we don't have any codes in there.
Continuous recording.
Alright, so we got no codes. Now I'm going to start the vehicle. And let's pick up the data lease. It has the back pressure. I think this one does it too. Exhaust back pressure. Alright, so let's focus ourselves on, actually all this is going to be in there, but let's select it. just in case I need to record. Alright, so guys, sorry if it's going to shake a little bit. I'm not going to put the camera this time on the suction cap because I noticed that you guys were not seeing anything, so doesn't really help. Again, I'm recording all the pits from the test drive, so if for some reason I go off the scanner, sorry, but you will see when I come back to the shop. No, what is this car in here? 1 second, guys, I got a car in the way. A car parked right at the entrance of the bay. All the bays, a little bit of a smoke coming from underneath. I expected that too from watching the Catalytic Converter. Alright, so this is the one you guys wanted to see. I'm actually going to put that one into a better way of seeing it, if this let me. Okay, that's an easiest way. I'm just leaving the shop now. Still in the plaza. Let's take a look at the RPMs. I don't have any gear selection into that pit, so just based on the RPMs, we will notice if we have any big changes or not. This plaza is so busy. Sometimes it's not even a place to park. Now I'm in the road. Remember that based on the manufacturer information and identifics as well, as long as you got less than 2000 HPA, it will be considered normal. I'm just cruising here, so this is still again the back road to, from the shop to like a highway 28. So this one is at 40 miles per hour, so I cannot really float it too much in here. But honestly, I see a big difference on that back pressure right away. Again, also, I didn't feel any issues on this little short run till I hit this. I'm about to turn, but I can go from 0 to a good speed. So, moment of truth. Alright, so the car is responding very good. So far, no problems. I'm gonna turn around and hit it again. But I saw those numbers. Very, very nice. So one more time. I'm flooring it in here. Sorry for the glare. Alright, this is completely different car. So I'm taking again, this is the second run, no issues at all. I'm gonna take it for 2 more times. And I have to go back to the shop because I have things to do in another vehicle. I will take it for a test drive again. This is very good to warm up those cats that got, position this better so it's not in the glare. So let me hit it again. Slide again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is completely different car. Completely different car. I would not be able to hit it twice. I mean, you try one time and that was it. I'm turning around. That will be our fourth time. I can see some hard numbers in there. I can see some smoke coming out of the back when I hear that. I hit that. Not sure. I cannot see anything in there. I will take a look at those numbers in the shop, but I mean, so far no issues with the vehicle. The car is driving completely normal. So let me stop the video here. I got some cops in the entrance of the shop. I'm in the plaza and I don't want them to see me recording. So let me stop this. Okay, I'm back in the shop. Car ran perfect, no issues whatsoever. I want to see that information that we saved. That should be in review data 17. This should be the one. Yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock. So I want to put again on the back pressure. I want to see this on gauge because that will help me see higher. We have a few short moments, like I mean when I floated that car, we have 4,000. For a brief second you can see that I'm floating the vehicle, but overall the run, like I mean if you see this from here till normal driving, this thing is driving in between 1,600 to 2,000. We have some major change. 3750. I think that the big difference in here will be that you might get some back pressure still. I mean, I don't know how the DPF filter is. This will probably need to go into a regen very soon now that the catalytic converters are clean. But I feel this like as a fix. I didn't have any codes for the catalytic converter, so I'm not suspecting them to be bad as far as the work that they need to do. This was more about like sauce and carbon from diesel. I mean, if you have a car that is not being used too much and then you start floating it, sometimes that carbon from the valves and so on, it goes out. But again, I don't feel this as a problem. I notice a big difference on back pressure, and I'm going to take it again in the afternoon for another test drive. So I'm going to stop the video here, let the car cool down, and check everything up. So one more thing that I wanted to do is go over to the diagnosis, which should be on. Okay, let me go back, and now let's go back to codes, see if we have anything. And no, we have no full codes, which is awesome. I am very very happy. Still, it's too early to know, because I just have it for a test drive, very short test drive for 4 runs. But I mean, I floated the car, which was impossible to do before. So again, this is a big change. Alright guys, I'm going to take the car for a second test drive. This time I'm going to drive the car for a longer period. I'm going to hit that spot that I have here close to the shop for like 2 times, then take the highway and go for like 10 miles. I want to see if I can do a regen on the diesel particle filter, which needs to be 40 miles an hour steady, over 2,500 RPMs for that to happen. So again, let's see how it goes. We know what we're looking for in there, so I got my hopes up with that first test drive. I'm definitely on the right track. It's definitely not a turbo issue, not a EGR issue. It's a catalytic converter or exhaust back pressure problem. I cannot condemn anything else because right now the car is driving good. The DPF filter should clean itself through the regens. So no codes on that first test drive. One thing I want to show before I hit the road, we have, let's see, let me go straight. We have 108, 808. So hopefully I will be able to go to 108, 818, which will be 10 miles. Of a tank fuel, so no problem. Temperature is normal. Outside temperature is 63 degrees. It was a very cold morning today. It's supposed to be very cold tonight too, so winter is coming. So from the shop to this exit that I take usually the cars for the test drive, it's like half a mile. Kind of like two lanes, or one lane each side, and then you take that exit, which is like a 2 lanes each side, and I can go a little faster in there. There's no homes, no nothing, so it's a perfect spot for test driving the vehicles. I'm about to hit that. So coming down speed wise, almost to a stop, turning right. Sorry for the glare again. No power. No power. It's happening again. So I got no power at all again, so definitely a back pressure issue, but it's not just the catalytic converters. It might be the DPF filter. So I was hoping that I could do a long test drive and be able to clean that a little bit, but it's not letting me. Let's see what kind of codes we have here. All right, so let me get out of here. Let me stop this. Get out of here and read the codes. I felt a little bit when we have the same codes, 2359 and 23592. So turn the car off, park. I'm going to erase these codes, see how far I can go. I always request for those 10 seconds. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I know I will erase the codes. Yeah, I did. So I'm not going to put any data. I'm going to just drive the car and see if those codes come back. So I'm going to stop the video here, guys. No need to be watching that pits or the scanner. So let me take it for a test drive. If this happens again, which most likely will, then I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, I was able to drive the 10 miles that I was looking for. I don't know if you did any regen or not. No fault codes. I was not as strong as I was with the RPMs or shifting, not aggressive. I drove normally. So I guess it is definitely still back pressure issues. I did change a lot by cleaning that catalytic converter, but we still got some issues with back pressure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go again for another drive. This time I'm just going to pick this one, push air temperature maybe, and this one too. Well, the engine speed as well. Actually, you know what, let's pick it all. Alright, so I'm going to record this. Again, it's very hard, it's a lot of traffic, so I cannot really record a video, but you guys will see this data. I'm going to take an easy drive again and see how it responds, and then I'm going to float it to make those codes try to come back again. So let me take a photo drive and see how it goes. Okay, so we have no codes going on a normal test drive. Right now I have 108, 830, so that was a little over 10 miles. I'm going to float it this time to see if he goes into that lean mode protection for the turbo. I suspect this is a strategy from the computer that when it sees that it goes over, the 2000 kp HA or HPA, sorry, it puts the turbo into lean mode. So let me take it for a test drive, short in here. Just gonna float it and go back to the shop and see if we have any codes in there. Alright, I'm back in the shop. I felt no issues whatsoever. Let me see if we have any codes. No full codes, and I floated it like 3 or 4 times, so I think this long test drive might be helping that DPF filter, remove some of that carbon too. I'm going to keep the car for a few days and start, driving the car more, or tell the customer to, take the car and drive it for like 20 miles straight, normal driving. Try to keep it, what I did a couple of times, I went over to manual shifting and keep it like in 5th gear around 2000, 2500 RPMs, just to make sure that you get a little higher RPMs to clean that filter. But I mean, no code, so it looks like that is being helping.